All right, we're
Hey
live.
there, and welcome everyone to your weekly game hump. It's that time of the week when you're trying to figure out how exactly you're going to make it all the way through this entire work week, if you got a work week or school week or whatever it's going on. But hey, it's the middle of the week. It's the game hump. And here we have a very special guest with us today, this week. It's Gamester81.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me, Joshua. I appreciate it, man.
No, I appreciate you being a part of the show. It's really exciting. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure.
And I don't know if maybe a lot of people that have been watching this show or people that are online and checking things out, if they haven't seen a lot of your stuff, if they're not too familiar with yourself, maybe you want to give a little bit of introduction on what you do and who you are.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I'm I guess a guy of many hats, so to speak. I do quite a bit. I first and foremost, I think most people would know me for my Gamester81 show on YouTube. I have a website as well, gamehuggers81.com, and the premise of that show really is focused on obviously retro stuff, focusing on anything from system reviews to some homebrew reviews, et cetera, so forth. So I have a lot of fun doing that. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm pumped up for The Force Awakens. So I had my very first channel actually on YouTube was a Star Wars show. It's still up. It's called Star Wars Net 77. And that's a lot of fun. I do, Star Wars reviews. I talk about The Force Awakens and, of course, doing the beta for Battlefront and stuff like that, which is cool. Have you played the beta at all?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I had a good chance to do that. My kids and I, we were playing just a couple days ago on the Xbox One, and that was a lot of fun.
Right on, yeah, absolutely. So really excited for the new movie. So really two loves outside of my family, of course, gaming and Star Wars. First and foremost, I should probably premise that I'm a father, husband, I have a day job, so those certainly take priorities to everything else. And then on top of that, I'm a part owner and business partner in a company called Collector Vision Games. We make our business model is kind of unique in the sense that we make homebrew games for like retro consoles, including anything from the Intellivision, ColecoVision, NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, etc. But then we're porting those games to like modern consoles as well. So it's kind of interesting, kind of unique business model because everything we're building, like on a modern level, like whether it's Wii U or Steam, those are meant to be played on old school systems as well. Whereas like, Mega Man 9, for example, you wouldn't be able to really necessarily port that to the NES because anyway, it's just kind of confusing. But anyway, but yeah, so that's cool. A lot of fun doing that. I'm a podcaster, All Gen Gamers, ColecoVision's podcast. And I'm an event organizer, do the Game On Expo, which is an event in Arizona that we put together this past year. It was pretty successful, and we're planning for next year. So pretty busy, man. That's a long-winded answer for your question, but absolutely.
No, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
I actually, speaking of the Game On Expo, I saw a lot of videos and a lot of pictures of that online. I mean, congratulations. That's a huge deal. This is your second year?
No, well, that was our first year.
Oh, this is your first year. That's right.
Yeah. So we're planning year two. We're probably looking to be in August, first week of August, which honestly, living in Arizona is kind of crazy because it's hotter than Hades here in the summer. But despite all that, actually, it was a very successful event. We had over 4,000 people show up the first year, which is incredible. I was hoping for like 1,000 people to give you an idea. And like we had 4,000, which fortunately, thank God for our volunteers. Big shout out to Blythe and all the volunteers and my business partners, Neil, Gray, and Jason. I couldn't have done it without them. It was fun, man, but we definitely learned a lot of lessons and trying to plan for year two. It's been a lot of fun.
Wow, that's really amazing. That sounds really cool.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Because we never, I don't have experience doing any of this stuff. Like we kind of, a couple of my business partners, Gray and Neil, they do a toy convention every year, which they've got experience. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted them on board because they have a lot of insight as far as the details, like things you wouldn't expect to happen at a convention. They kind of, like, for example, like we had the first day on Friday, we had this corgi who was like this cosplay corgi dog that this cosplayer brought. They're really cool. Like she dressed him up as like Link, and like really cool like shield and everything. It was really cute. But little did I know that this corgi was going to shit. Pardon my French, but poop everywhere on the floor of the showroom. And so like I walk around, I'm like, what's that smell? And then people are like stepping in it, and they're like, so here I am on my knees trying to clean up this poop. Stuff like that you can't expect, right? I mean, you don't foresee that ever happening, but we fortunately got that taken care of pretty quickly. And another funny thing about the show is we had an arcade area, where a lot of people, we had about 20 or 30 different machines because I'm a huge arcade guy. I love arcades.
Absolutely.
So I wanted that, and that's a cool aspect to have free play arcade. One vendor comes out to me, he's like, John, I want to bring out a pinball machine. I'm like, awesome, love pinball machines, absolutely go for it. The one pinball machine he brings out, and he's coming from Vegas, mind you, so it was like a long trip. It's not like that easy where you can just ship everything. So I'm like, cool, that's awesome, bring it down. He brings the one pinball machine. Guess what he brings down? The one pinball machine that you not want at your show.
Something with nudity.
Playboy, good guess. Playboy. So, and he had it set up so it wouldn't. It was censored version where I guess there's a setting where, but basically you go up a ramp and these images would turn and there's be topless women and there's these beads and they open up and if you look carefully and with some light you can still see nudity. And it's funny because Fox News, we had a whole bunch of media come out. Fox came out, NBC. But the one thing they showed on Fox was, of course, the Playboy pinball machine. Surprisingly, no one complained about it. It's a family show. We're trying to keep it family friendly. But no one complained about it, so that's good. No one came up. It wasn't an issue. I guess I made a bigger deal of it than I guess I had to. But we kept it there. At that point, I was going to ask him to ship it back to Vegas. That's not, whatever. But little did I learn, lessons learned. But it was a lot of fun. It was a good show.
Yeah. That's really awesome to hear. Yeah, I run a show it's in central Wisconsin, so we have a lot smaller of a populace around here.
Sure.
And it's nerve-wracking when you're trying to put things together and you see something that someone could complain about or some kind of a bad rap.
Right. Yeah.
And you're just terrified to find some mom come running up saying, "Oh my gosh, my kids are watching this," and you can't.
I know, right? Well, yeah. As a parent, you want to try to keep it family friendly, but that's cool. What's the name of the show you run?
We run a show called Pizza and Games.
Okay, cool.
We're kind of subtitling it with Lincoln Pizza and Games.
Okay.
It takes place in Lincoln County in Wisconsin, but
cool.
We just broke 100 people as far as attendance this last year. We hit 171, so it was a pretty big deal for us.
Nice, very cool, man.
Yeah, we have a lot of home old school consoles set up, and we had 2 pinball machines this year. Like I said, it's pretty small little town, so we're just trying.
Yeah, no, it's all about having fun, man, and just taking your hobby and sharing it with other people. That's awesome. So for sure. So
yeah, very cool.
Have you been to the Midwest Gaming Classic? I know that's kind of in your neck of the woods.
Right? I have actually, yeah. I actually bumped into you, I think, in 2014.
That's right. I did, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was the first year and the only year I've been so far. I want to go this next year. It's gotten big.
Yeah. It's getting fun, and it's getting bigger and bigger every year. I think that when, 10, 12 years ago, when Gen Con left Wisconsin, there's been this huge void of some kind of a game convention for the area, and the Midwest Classic has just been getting bigger and bigger. The first time I went to the Midwest Classic, it was 75 people in 2003, I think. Maybe.
No kidding. Wow, I was just blowing up. Good for them. Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, here in Phoenix, there's definitely been a void of gaming shows. There's 3 Comic-Cons, which is crazy. So it's definitely saturated. And Comic-Con's fun. I love going to Comic-Con. But as you know, it's different. There's some crossover, of course, with the geek and stuff, our hobbies and stuff.
Right.
Because I love comics, but it's definitely different. Phoenix Comic-Con started 10 years ago with about 100 people. I think they ended up doing this past year 77,000. I mean, it was crazy.
Holy cow!
It's huge. They're taking all the things. It's like the 3rd or 4th biggest Comic-Con in the country. It's gigantic. And what's really cool is one of my business partners is buddy with the guy who runs Phoenix Comic-Con. So he's getting a lot of cool insight as far as picking his brain as far as what to do. And I mean, what's incredible about that show is they have hundreds of volunteers. You can imagine the workload it takes to run this show that large. But I'd say, I think he said that they can count as far as full-time employees on their one single hand as far as how many people they actually pay, which is incredible. I mean, that's mind-blowing to me that there's that many people that are willing to donate their time and effort to help out a show like that, which is great. So
Yep. A lot of times you can just give them a free badge or even a hotel room, things
T-shirt, badge, hotel room. People appreciate that stuff. And believe me, I could have done my show without the volunteer support. I mean, as you know, I'm sure with your show, you could have done it by yourself, and it takes a lot of behind the scenes and planning for sure all year.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure how many people volunteer at the Midwest Gaming Classic, but I would guess it's upwards in 50. Like, there's
I would
just a
probably seem right. Yeah, 50 or so. I don't know what the attendance was last year. I think they probably ended up doing like 8,000, 10,000 or more. I mean, I don't know, but I
yep.
know it's a good show. They do good. They run a really tight ship. It's kind of a unique location too. It's a hotel, and they have that little air bubble with all the whatever outside. But it
Yeah,
was cool. It was cool.
yeah, they just started doing that just the first year that you came, I believe. That was
Yeah.
the last 2 years they've had that tent outside.
Hmm.
Yeah, they've outgrown that hotel by a lot, but
Yeah, they need to relocate. I mean, is it going to be there? I know they announced the dates. Is it going to be the same location next year?
I believe it is going to be. They
Okay.
have they have a really good deal with that hotel, and they're kind of sticking it out. And there's a potential, and I don't know how much news this is, if this is news or if it's supposed to get out there or not. But there's a potential that some kind of a convention center might be opening up around that area that'll be
Oh, nice.
in cahoots with that hotel. So if we keep sticking it out with them every year, they'll
Oh, dude, that's fantastic. Yeah, for
let
sure.
us
Yeah,
do the
yeah.
classic inside of an actual convention center, which would be huge. It's
It's
outgrown it.
yeah, no, for sure. And what's weird is like with my experience doing the first year, and I've learned a lot. And I think this next year is gonna be a little bit easier, but it's not certainly it won't be easy by all means, But first year is always hard because you got to sell the vendors, especially on hey, you got to invest into a booth and believe in us
Yep.
for a show. But it was weird that the places you would at least expect to be like receptive at all, like I'm talking about like companies like Microsoft, and like I guess our show Game on X was a little different than Midwest Gaming Classic in the sense that we're kind of all encompassing gaming, where Midwest Gaming Classic is more on retro gaming. We do
Yep.
retro, we do modern, we do tabletop, Pokemon, Magic cards, all that stuff. The whole, arcade, the whole, gambit of gaming. So like places like Microsoft were super cool to work with. Dave and
Wow.
Buster's were amazing. Like, yeah, I went to there's a Microsoft store, a couple of them down here, and I went in there and they have like a position at Microsoft store that their job is to like work with local community. And we partnered up with Extra Life, which is a charity. I don't know if you're familiar with, but they donate like for the Children's Miracle Network. They donate arcade games and to keep the kids' minds off of what's going on. It's a great
Sure.
charity. But so we teamed up with them and Microsoft, and they came out to our show. We were actually in the malls, like passing out flyers and stuff, like with Microsoft. It was awesome. And Dave and Buster's, super cool. GameWorks, GameStop, like every GameStop we went to was like amazingly cool. And like, hey, we'll put out flyers in every get to go bag, which blew my mind. Like,
That's awesome.
it
Wow.
was the small mom and pop shops that were the hard to sell.
Yeah.
The local guys who were like, hey, you want to invest $150 in having a booth? No, it's too much money. But I ended up talking to some of the vendors after the show, and they ended up making $10,000. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good investment if you ask me. But yeah, it's funny. So
yeah, those kind of shows. I actually ran a vendor's booth in 2008
nice.
at the Midwest Gaming Classic, and yeah, it was by Sunday. I was shocked at how much money I'd made that weekend.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So that's cool. But now we have a history of a show, so that we can go hopefully get easier time getting vendors. But yeah, it was cool. Good show. It was fun.
Do you also have a vendor booth for CollectorVision there?
We did. We had a vendor booth and we had a panel, which is cool. And we were showcasing some of our games that we're working on and giving out flyers. And that was really cool to do that. So, but I try to keep, I still paid for the booth. I know it sounds stupid, but like I try to keep the two businesses separate, and I have two different business partners on each side of things. I don't want to be like, hey, give me favorites because, I'm part of CollectorVision or this and that. I want to be fair about it. So it just kind of matters of shifting money. It's kind of weird, but I try to be fair about things for sure. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Not to make a crazy segue into anything in here,
No,
but
no, you're good. Yeah. Go for it.
I had heard in the past that you were like in a marching band, or you play an instrument.
Yeah, I play trombone. Still do. I've been playing trombone since middle school. But I was at the Arizona State Marching Band for 5 years and really enjoyed it. We traveled been to several bowl games, and every year I do the alumni game, which going back, this is gonna be the 100th anniversary for our marching band this year, which is gonna be huge. So we're gonna have a lot of people there, and then every year during the Fiesta Bowl, I march in the marching bowl, the parade there as alumni. So it's pretty fun.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Do you know any like game or gamer related songs on your trombone?
Let's see. I can do like Mario Brothers. I used to be able to do Tetris, one of the things from Tetris. But yeah, we did I think one of my years, my freshman year, we did like a marching band themed show, halftime show that was like video game related. It was pretty cool. So that was fun. Yeah,
that is awesome.
yeah.
I played trumpet in middle
Okay,
school.
cool. All right, right on. Yeah.
I got to the point of marching band, and I don't know if I just don't have any coordination or what was wrong with me, but I could not. I think I enjoyed the orchestrated style of bands.
Yeah,
sit down, play songs. Once we get to the marching part, it just wasn't for me, and I couldn't hang with the rest of them, so I was falling behind on that. So I wound up just switching to choir.
I played trumpet. I started on trumpet. I played it through high school, but trumpet, the mouthpiece is really small for me, and I liked it. I played trumpet in the jazz band and then like trombone in the marching band, but I just enjoyed the trombone. It's a lot easier for me to play with a bigger mouthpiece.
Oh, sure.
But no, it's fun for sure. And I have a new trombone that's made out of plastic. It's called a P-bone, which is like a march with it. And it's super lightweight. It's not brass. It's plastic, but it sounds like a trombone. It's pretty crazy.
That is bizarre. Plastic?
Yeah. Plastic, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Super lightweight, like super lightweight.
I remember I was a trumpet player for a while too, and they had mentioned to me maybe to switch to something like a baritone or a trombone.
Yeah.
And I think I had a hard time doing that, jumping from I think treble clef to bass clef.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that either. But my oldest son is actually in the marching band here in Wisconsin, and he plays like a tuba.
Okay, nice. Those mouthpieces are even huge, bigger, yeah.
And then my 14-year-old, he has played a clarinet. Okay. And my daughter is just starting middle school, and she's on flute. So
nice. Well, good.
It's really cool to hear that you have some history with the marching band.
It was definitely a brotherhood, man, and I really enjoyed it. I wasn't a part of fraternity or anything like that, but I really felt like my colleagues in the marching band, I really made some really lifetime friends with doing it. And, it is kind of like a fraternity, and it's good people in the marching band for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, band trips. Those road trips and the camping trips and stuff like that.
I have a funny story, dude. We were up in Stanford and we're playing Stanford for an away game, and we're at the hotels, and Stanford's a crazy band. Like I don't know if you know much about Stanford's band, but they're kind of out there as far as what they wear, and they're very like hippie, But it's funny because they came by our hotel and they brought their mascot, the tree, whatever, that goofy looking tree, and like they brought over like beer, and it was weird. And I walk in this room, this guy brings about like he's like, check this out. He's like, it's a trombone, and like he basically took a trombone and like made it a beer bong, like cut off the bell, and he put a tube to it, like where you could just pour down beer and drink out of the trombone, and you could blow into it and play a perfect B flat, which is kind of funny. But he's just, but the Stanford band was definitely out there, man. It was funny, and we were big rivals with the University of Arizona, obviously down in Tucson, but we'd go there every other year to play them, and they're brutal. Like their fans are brutal. They'd bring up their kids to us and like squirt ketchup packets on our uniforms and trip us and like throw Coke at us. It was like vicious, man. I'm sure our fans did the same to them, but it was brutal. Yeah.
That's crazy. What happens at band camp stays at band camp.
No, that's right. What happens at band camp stays at band camp. Pretty crazy stuff, man, for sure.
So okay, and I know that you have twins at home. And how old are they?
They just turned 2 last week, actually.
Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, they're fun.
So that keeps you incredibly busy.
Yes. Fortunately, they sleep really well. We got them. We made sure that we got them sleep trained really quickly. So really, since they were like 6-7 months, they've been sleeping pretty good through the night. But yeah, it's been a lot of work. They're fun though. Totally different though. Their personalities are so different. It's interesting to see it.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, you'd think that having kids or multiple kids, that if you raise them the same way, that they'd be the same people, but they're not.
Right.
They're just
they're really close, man. Because they're never really separated. We tried some every once in a while, like when we'll wake up before the other, and we'll bring them down, and they're always asking where their brother is. It's kind of cute. They're very, very close. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So how do you balance things? Because you sound like an incredibly busy guy. You've got conventions going on. You've got your own homebrew retro companies, and you're a father, and you try to be a gamer. You got to be playing games to talk about.
I do.
Games. So
I do.
How do you balance all that? You just don't sleep.
Yeah, pretty much. I usually boys go down about 7:30. So really from like 7:30 to 1 o'clock is kind of my time where I can kind of unwind and do whatever and focus on stuff. But really from I did my day job from usually 9 to 5, and from 5 to 7:30, I'm obviously with my family, having dinner and spending time with them. But really, once they go down, it's kind of my time to unwind and focus on what I need to focus on for work, for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I find that a lot of times I do the same thing when the kids finally get to sleep.
Right.
For me, a lot of times that only winds up being on the weekends, but and that's maybe even every other weekend.
And they're at the stage where they still sleep 2 hours during the day. They have a daytime nap. So from 1:30 to 3:30. I wish I had daytime naps every once in a while. Dang, that'd be nice. But yeah, definitely, that's a good time too to do all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So speaking about gaming and stuff, are there any games or anything or systems that you're into right now, or anything new that you've just tried other than Star Wars Battlefronts?
Yeah, no, Star Wars Battlefront for sure. I want to pick up the new Rock Band 4. I'm excited about that. I haven't picked it up yet though, because I love that genre. I like the Rock Band games.
Yeah. I agree. Those are a lot of fun.
Those are a lot of fun. Super Mario Maker, I've been really enjoying. That's awesome. Although some of the courses people are making are crazy hard.
Yeah, they are.
And I don't know about you, but like when I first played Battlefront, the beta, like I got my ass whooped, man. Like every time I respawn, I die. Fortunately, like every once in a while I get like Luke Skywalker and kill some people, but
nice.
Some people just sit there and Skype you or snipe you. So but no, it's still a fun game. And then as far as retro stuff goes, I've been playing a lot of TurboGrafx 16 actually, believe it or not.
For real.
Airzonk is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Bonk's Adventure, totally underrated system. I love it. And then of course, I've been really into the ROM hacks for NES or Super Nintendo.
Right.
Like I got some guy, they made a Sonic the Hedgehog for the Super Nintendo, which is crazy. And I have Super Mario Brothers for the Genesis, which is even nuts.
That's pretty cool.
So there's a really good game I just beat. I love one of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario Brothers 3 for the NES. And there's a new game that some guy made. It's called Super Mario 3 Remix, and I really recommend it. It's a hack of a game, but it's a completely unique. What they did was they took all elements of every 2D Super Mario Brothers, so anything from Mario Land even to Super Mario World, and they took what they like and enemies and characters and built a whole new game. So you can for example, you can get the carrot and be like the bunny in Super Mario Brothers 2 or Super Mario Land. Super Mario Land Lost Level, or no, was it the 6 golden coins, whatever?
Yep.
And then you can use Yoshi and stuff in it.
No way, that's amazing.
It's an amazing game, and it's takes everything I like about Super Mario Brothers and puts it on the NES. It's amazing. There's some parts of the game that kind of lag as far as just slow down because there's so much going on, and I'm sure it's just overclocking the NES because graphically it's really amazing. But just Google search Super Mario 3 Remix. It's amazing, and you'll be blown away. Super challenging though, but it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to think. You can be. They have this one it's not the frog suit, but it's like a suit you can get. I think it's a seal suit where you can actually swim really easy, which is cool, nice. Underwater, and you can slide with it too and kill enemies. But yeah, I mean, they brought back the whole rabbit suit, which is kind of cool, and it even has the enemies from what is it? The original Super Mario Land, remember the pyramid level with the Pharaoh, it has that boss. You have to beat him and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
That is really cool. I will definitely have to check that out. That's Super Mario 3 Remix?
Remix, yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
That is very, very cool. I am going to definitely take a look at that and see if I can find that one. And yeah, I the first time I played Star Wars Battlefronts or the new Battlefront game, I wound up being too mesmerized by the sparkly snow.
Right. Yeah.
In the hot stage.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was the first game that I had seen on this current generation of the the PS4 and the Xbox One, and said, now this is something that I don't think they could have done on the last generation of consoles.
No, the attention to detail is amazing. Yeah.
It's crazy. It looks so pretty, and I just was staring at the snow, thinking, God, this is actually what snow looks like. This is amazing. And then I die. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But hey, man, I am so happy to have you here, and thank you so much. I appreciate you being a part of our weekly Game Pump.
Sure.
And for anybody watching, thank you for watching. You can always check out John at gamester81.com. He's got all kinds of stuff going on, and you just do a search for Gamester81 on YouTube, and you'll be enjoying thousands of videos because the guy's been on YouTube for, what, 10 years now?
Nah, since '08. I actually just uploaded, I think, episode 502, 500.
Oh, nice.
500 videos, so a lot. Certainly a lot. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, everybody, for watching, and you guys have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.